Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Transforming Lives podcast. We have a phenomenal guest today. We have none other than the author, minister, and visionary, Kia Holt today. Let's give her a round of applause. Yes, let's give her a round of applause. We want to welcome you wholeheartedly here. And I say we, but it's just a one man show. It's just me. I'm the host, Lady G, but I always say we because we don't know how God gonna move this thing. And I might give me a co-host, right? I'm, I'm speaking that into existence.
Hey, how about that? How
And
about that?
I have not made my selections yet. God hasn't sent anyone to me, but I'm still praying on it. I'm taking applications, okay?
All
But
right.
to God be the glory. We are so happy to have you on this evening. We
Thank
had
you. Thank
technical
you.
difficulties last 2 weeks ago, and so it was due. You were due to come back because people could hear you but couldn't hear me. So what's the point of having you on here if they couldn't hear the questions I was posing to you, right?
Right.
And I went on there. I was like, "Oh no, the devil is a lie. We're gonna do this again." So hey, folks, I'm Lady G for one from Transform Lives podcast. I am your host. This is Transform Lives podcast. As I said, it was birthed 2 years ago. We're changing lives through the lens of the community. And that basically means transform a life one day at a time. There's people out there that believe that complacency is a thing. I don't. I believe that we can help somebody get where they need to be. And if that by is that by ministering to them, if that's by writing a book and letting them read it, giving a testimony, doing something for the community as far as a community organizer, you're a mentor, whatever you are doing for the community to transform one life one day at a time. That's what I'm here for. I can give you the platform to speak to the masses. So if you want to come on, you can surely inbox me at Transformer Lives Forever. You can call me at 410-288-1213, or you can email me at WGILLIE at 0120 at outlook.com. And of course, you can request me as a friend on Facebook. My name is backwards on there. It's Gilly Wanda. Nevertheless, I'll get it. I'll get it. Some kind of way, I'll get it. I'll get it. But I'm looking to book up my calendar for the rest of the year. The guests are coming on sporadically, but look, we had a phenomenal year. Yeah, last year. Or was it the early part of this year? It was the early part of
It's
this
probably
year.
part of this year.
Yeah, early part of this year. I had so many
Mhm.
guests. Kia was on as well. She was on a panel with a group of women. And you guys can go onto Spotify, you can go onto YouTube, you can go on to my Transformer Lives page, and you can look at some of those segments. So without further ado, welcome, Kia. Kia, tell them how we met. We're going to go ahead
Oh
and
my God.
tell them how we met, Kia, because God brings you back sometime to full circle to the people. And those
Yes.
people are meant to be in your life. God said, this season, I'm working on them.
Yes.
But I'm gonna bring y'all back together somehow.
Right.
Connected. How we connected this way is because we're God fearing women, and we
Yes.
that's just the bottom line.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kia.
Yes. We met. We were working, oh my goodness, for Sierra Military.
Sierra
The military
Military.
health insurance. And you were actually the lead there. Oh my goodness. So yes, we used to work together. We reconnected, and I don't know if I think I told you this story, but I was at work one day and your face, I could see your face, and I'm like, who is, I'm like, I know this lady. I'm like, but what is her name? And I could never remember your name, but I remembered your face. And all I could see was your face. And I'm like, who is this lady? Like,
Wow.
what is her name? I know her from somewhere, but where do I know her from? And
Wow.
I kept dealing with it and kept dealing with it. And was like, and then one day I seen your name pop up on somebody's friend list on Facebook. And I said, that's her right
Wow.
there. And I kindly
It
clicked.
had to
It,
It
Exactly.
Pat Jones, because that's my sister-in-law. It had to be Pat List. I had to be because she is my.
Yep.
I still call her my sister-in-law, even though they're not married anymore. She's still my sister-in-law, and I said, "Isn't that amazing that you didn't you was with her one time? Am I right?
Right. Yep.
Which
Yep.
your husband? Which one? Both of y'all. Which one was it? You, your husband?
Both. Both.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay." And I said, small world.
Yes.
Baltimore is truly small. By mistake that we reconnected. I watch
Right.
and I watch in silence, but I watch. And to hear your story, my God, you told a little bit of it, but hey, we're here for you. We're here to talk about what's happening with Kia now. Kia talked about her women's group when she came on, and then she told us, she said, "Hey," she gave us a little sneak peek. She said, "I'm writing a book." I go ahead here, tell your story. And guys here to talk about that book today. To God be the glory. Go ahead, Kia. Tell us how this whole vision came about.
Well, the whole thing came about just really well, for years I've always known that I was supposed to do something working with women, just didn't know what it was. Um and it was after I came out of my first marriage, and it was, I just felt the weight of, I need to get this out. I need to work with women in some type of way. I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But me being the
Mhm.
person that I was back then, I was quiet, reserved, and I was not confident in myself at all. So I let it, I just let it lie dormant because I was like, who wants to hear anything that I have to say? That's how I felt. Like I had nothing to say. So, that went on for years, but at the same time, I felt as though that I was chasing something, and I knew what direction I wanted to go, what I needed to go in, what direction I needed to go in. But again, I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not for me. No. And of course, every step that I made work wise was never really fulfilling. So,
Mhm.
just recently over the last couple of years, I, rededicated my life to Christ. And this time I was like, Lord, what is my purpose? I need to know what my purpose is, because I know that you have something for me to do, but what is it? I need to be clear as to what this is. And sure enough, as I look back on how he started placing me in different roles of leadership and just getting me to the point of where I am now, he's so strategic in what he does. When I look back on that road and seeing the path that I've taken and the steps that I've taken, the places where he placed me, the people that he put in my path to help nurture me and help me to get to where I am, he's so strategic in what he does and how he does it.
Mhm.
And so, just about 2 years ago, it really came clear. This is, you're supposed to work with women. You're supposed to be this mentor for women. And even though I was still not that confident in myself, and I'm like, okay, and still, what do I have to offer? But when I realized and actually sat down and looked at it, I was already doing it and didn't even realize I was doing it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I tell people all the time, like, who's people who are looking for their purpose, look deeper inside yourself and look at what you're doing, because 9 times out of 10 you're already doing that thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
And because it's something, because he isn't going to put you in a place that is really going to make you all that uncomfortable. You are actually doing whatever your purpose is. You're actually really doing it. you know that's the gift that he put inside of you.
Right.
So, and then as far as writing the book, I've always wanted to write a book. But again, of course, like I said before, I felt as though I didn't have anything to say. But it wasn't until I was really, really, really deep into uh transforming my life. Um,
Mm.
it wasn't until I was really into that and that I realized, you know what? Yeah, this is what you need to do. And it wasn't something that I decided to do. Honestly, God told me, listen, you already figured out that you're supposed to be this mentor, but you have to write this book. And in the process of writing the book, you have to be very transparent, because the reason for the book is because the people that you're mentoring, you want them to know that you can relate to the things that they're going through. You can let them know through your book that you've been through this,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and it's so many different stories in there. It's not just one dimensional. It's not about just one thing. It's different stories about different aspects of my life. Whereas though, I start from my childhood. So I
The
can,
book we're talking about in the book.
in the book.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I start from my childhood because of course there are things that we as adults deal with that we carry from our childhood.
Okay.
And, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Sorry.
mhm,
I apologize. Give me 1 second.
mhm.
Okay.
So it's basically I can relate to so many different areas
Mhm.
of emotional brokenness,
Mm.
um uh, mental brokenness, physical
Okay.
brokenness. I can relate on so many different levels, and that's what this book is about. you know um it's for the people who I am mentoring now. It's for the people that I am going to mentor, that God already has waiting for me. And that was the reason for the book, to show that I can relate to you in so many different ways. And this is why God has sent me to help you.
Okay. Why? What? Okay. So you say you start from childhood, right?
Hmm.
And you do you tell it all? Are you very transparent?
I'm very transparent.
You're very transparent then,
Yes.
and you tell it all from childhood up into now. With,
Up to, not so much as this very present day,
mm,
but I go to, it stops at my first marriage
okay.
and how that dissolved.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So this is a connection to your group, right? Your
Yes.
women's group as well.
Yes.
So where do you want this book? What do you actually want this book to to do? How do you want? I'm trying to get the words. How do you want this book to touch that broken woman? It's different facets of brokenness in a woman, right? So do
Right.
you touch on mental abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse,
Yes.
emotional abuse? You touch in those areas too.
Yes.
So in that woman that needs that, getting something out of that book, what kind of fulfillment will you get from it?
Um, for me, just knowing that it helped someone in any type of way. My thing is that even if it touched just one person, my
Hmm.
job is complete.
Your job is complete. If it just touches one person, your
Yes.
job is complete.
Yes.
And so you've done this. Um, the purpose of it was to help somebody else,
Yes.
okay, who may not go through what you've been through, but have similar experiences.
Right, exactly.
And in this book, the revelation is what? What are you saying at the end of the book? What are you trying to? What are you telling the story? But what are you encouraging the women? How are you encouraging the women? And what is the revelation once they read this book? What kind of revelation should they get out of this book?
At the end of the book, I do get into briefly, basically, now that you have read this,
Mm-hmm.
um I want you to know that whatever it is that you're going through, it's always for somebody else.
Always,
It's
always.
always for somebody else. You're not in it by yourself. You didn't go through it by yourself. And God is there with you. God can bring you through it. You know, one, but we just have to really honestly give it all to him and trust that he's going to bring us through it, because again, we have to understand that it's always for somebody else. If you ask God to take this particular issue away, you know, and you find yourself still in it, that's because he has something for you at the end of it. It's not for you to come out of it right away, because he's taking you through this path for a reason, and he's going to bring you out of it, and at the end you will see that it was for his good. And then later down the line, honestly, you're going to run into someone who needs to hear what you've been through. And that's the whole purpose of the women's group, Broken to Empower. We start out broken. I'm I'm here to try to get you to a place of healing so that you're able to empower somebody else. And that's the whole purpose. You know, try to heal people to get them to a point of empowering someone else. That's how the community gets bigger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, in your role as an evangelist and minister, I'm sure that you're walking into your purpose, and this all this ties together because God didn't give you that vision to write that book and not put people in your path.
Oh my goodness.
I know He has not. And it's going to come so subtle. You know what I mean? You,
Right.
you'll find yourself. Oh my God! Afterwards, you'll be like, God, you sent them here. I know you did because this is the vision you gave me is part of my purpose, and I'm fulfilling it now.
Right, exactly. And he's doing it. And it's like, you know, um when while writing the book, anyone who has written a book or is inspired to write a book, it takes time. It takes a lot of time out of your day, because because mentally you're in it 24/7.
And
You
that book,
know,
and that
yeah,
book that you're writing, yeah,
you are
yeah.
in it 24/7. Your mind is always thinking, you
Hmm.
know, about how to put this. I
Hmm.
went through so many roller coaster rides with this book. To be completely honest and
Hmm.
transparent, there were times I was like, I'm not putting this out here. I am not
You
doing
not doing
this.
it.
Yes,
You
I
not
was
doing it.
like, oh no, I'm not doing this. This is, I said, Lord, there has got to be another way. But you know, that was just part of my healing process, because within writing the book, I discovered who Kia really is, why Kia did certain things that she did do in this book,
Why kid did? Why kid allowed?
why Kia did,
Okay.
because some of the stuff uh, I can't put on somebody else. Those are decisions that
Hmm.
I made. So
Okay.
you know, it isn't about what somebody did to me.
Mm,
Some of
mm,
that is about what Kia did to herself.
mm. So you're not gonna play the victim. Is that what you're?
Right, exactly.
You weren't a victim. You
And
were
certain,
a victim.
right, a victim of myself. A victim
You
of
said a
myself.
victim of
To a
yourself.
degree, yes, because I did not, you know, we all go through a period where we do not make the best decisions for ourselves, you know, and we don't understand
Okay.
why we make certain decisions, you know. Um, and it's like, once you come to realize that you who you really are and why you made these
And who's you,
decisions.
right? And whose you are.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Mhm,
Then you'll get to
mhm,
understand like certain things, like why you actually did certain things, you know. And and
mm,
no, I'm not playing the victim in the whole thing. Yes, some parts, yeah, I was a victim of what somebody else did, but you know,
mhm,
but a but a lot of that is like I said, is some of those decisions I made myself. And, even though I did make those decisions myself, guess what? God still stood there with me and carried me through it, even though I made made bad decisions. And just like I say in the book, we make bad decisions throughout our life, but we have to always know that God is there with us. Even still, he's carrying us through, and it's sometimes it's hard, especially when you're doing things yourself, by yourself. um I raised 7 kids.
Mm,
6 of them I did by myself, you
mm,
know, and that was hard, and they all are a product of my first marriage. My oldest son, he when I had him, one thing I can say is that even though his dad and I did not stay together, his dad made sure I did not have to worry about my oldest son throughout the process of my life, that I was dealing with certain issues and things like that. That's one thing that I did not have to stress about and I did not have to worry about, is that my oldest son was taken care of, you
yeah.
know. Um and he knew that I was always there with him, you know. But the other six I did basically by myself. Yeah, their dad was there, which is something that we all as women deal with at some point, you
Mhm,
know. And, hey, we have kids and the dad just does whatever they want to do. So, but we stand up and we step up and we do what we do,
mhm. What
take
we
care of
have to do.
business and
Yeah,
make sure the kids are good, we
yeah,
do what we have to do,
yeah.
so, but
I understand.
that's
So,
basically what I did.
so this book is for all ages, or would you just say um, it's focused to women over 18, or because there nowadays you got children, teenagers who are dealing with brokenness at 14, 15, 16, and
Exactly.
a lot of them are in relationships at that young age at the form of abuse, because that's what love feels like to them. Verbal
Exactly.
abuse feels like love to them. Physical abuse feels like love to them. So what would you say? I know you've raised how many daughters did you raise? I know you have a daughter, but how many do you have?
I have 4.
You have four daughters, okay.
Yes.
So you have four daughters, and she there's say for instance there's a 16-year-old that goes to your church or whatever. You would introduce this book to her in a form of brokenness, or would you just let discernment take its place and take a route of maybe, okay, whatever God decides? Or is this, because I haven't read the book, but I'm about to get it, and when is it available? We got to talk about that too, and where. But would you advise that teenager to get that book and be
Honestly, yes.
be blessed
Yes.
by it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's funny that you say that because um I was one a few months ago, I I was at one of my daughter's school, and um and I was talking with some advisors and a principal and stuff like that. And I was sitting there, and and it was crazy because I'm still, when God speaks to me and I can hear it so clearly, but I'm still in the stage of like, okay, Lord, I really, like, is this the time for that? Like, so I go back and forth a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with it, with what I'm hearing. So I'm sitting there in this meeting, and I hear him say, mention your group. And I'm like, now? And
Mm-hmm.
so when I mentioned it, the one of the advisors, they was like, oh my goodness, you would be great to speak to the children. But the funny thing about it is that before that meeting, he had already showed me that I'm starting kind of like in the middle of this to a
Mm-hmm.
degree. I have to go get these children because this is where it starts, you
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
And that sitting in that meeting was confirmation for me.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he's showing me that there has to be at some point a platform for men as well.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I tell people, this is so it's bigger than me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the things that God is showing me as to how he where he wants it to go and
Mm-hmm.
how he wants it to be. I sat in my room one day and was like, Lord, hold up. I was like, I'm not even completely started with this one, and you're showing me other avenues as to. And and it's funny because as he's showing me these things, he's putting people in place for it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay,
Your gift will make room for you.
exactly. Exactly. And I'm watching it, and it's like it's a feeling that I really cannot explain.
That's
When
how
you
God works. That's
Right,
how
when
God
you sit
works.
and watch him work, and it's
Yeah,
like, wow.
that's how God works. It's amazing what God is doing with the kingdom. It's a blessing, and
Yeah.
I always like to connect with women with like mind, where we have kindred spirits, where we all focus on doing the will and the way of God and be laborers.
Hmm.
And so it's not by happenstance that you'll be back again because God gonna give you something else to do, and we're
Right,
gonna come back.
exactly.
We're gonna be back on the platform talking about it again. Um,
Exactly.
because one assignment is over with, then here's another one. Like you said,
There's
before you
another
know it, this is halfway completed, God, and you giving me another one. But
right.
all he wants is a willing vessel. That's all he wants is a
That's all.
willing vessel. And
That's
as
all.
long as you are a willing vessel, those assignments going to come. So I know you staying prayed up. I know you have a woman and man of God who's keeping you covered, because we know that when you're doing the work of the kingdom, you know Satan doesn't like it. But we
Right.
do know that we have to stay prayed up, most definitely,
Yes.
always. And it's going to be tiring, trying times, but God is always with you. He's
Yes.
no respecter of person, and He will never leave you nor forsake you. So I just wanted you to give the audience where they can find the book, um, and if you want to, say the price. Also, I'm looking for you to do some seminars.
It, yes.
I'm looking for you to do some.
Yes.
God just dropped that in my spirit. And I'm looking for you to do some seminars and talk more about this book and let this book sell itself. And
Yes.
that's going to be through your gift and the seminars that you do in the places and spaces that God put you in. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And if I can make it there to support, I will be right there supporting.
Oh,
Uh,
you'll definitely know about it. Don't worry about it.
I'll support it. But definitely now you can talk about the book. But God had dropped that in my spirit. I just said, okay, so I can see her doing seminars. Okay, go ahead. Hey, tell us where we can buy the book at and how much.
Yes. The release date is October 11th,
Which is next week.
which is next Friday.
It's Friday.
Yes. It will be on Amazon
Okay.
at it's $25.
Okay.
If you want to pre-order, I am taking pre-orders myself.
Okay.
You can if you want to reach out to me directly, you can message me through Facebook, at Kia Holt. Um, the website for the pre-orders is Products by Kia,
Okay.
and that's KIA, productsbykia.com.
Okay.
And it'll take you directly to the page because you'll see the book there. So it's just really like a landing platform just for the book only. The
Okay.
pre-orders are actually $14.99. Okay. If you buy two or more, you get a 10% discount off of each item. And
Okay.
that sale is going until the 10th, October 10th.
Okay.
So,
Y'all don't have long, folks, but that's next week. So come on, let's support Kia, and what God is doing in her life. I definitely will be, reposting as often as I can of where they can find it and the link and everything, especially on my group page, Transforming Lives, and on my Instagram page as well. Do you see yourself doing book signings soon?
actually, yes, I am actually setting one up.
Okay. Okay.
I'm actually setting one up, so you will definitely know the information on that.
Okay.
I am actually in the process of reaching out to some libraries.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I'm also going to get in contact with Barnes and Nobles because I do want to have the book in their stores as well, and also see if I can do a book signing there in Barnes and Nobles, and wherever else God leads me.
Okay. That's no problem at all. I'm connected with a young lady on here named Shanette. I cannot think of Shanette's name. Her mom babies caretaker, put it this way, for my children when they were young. They were going there to a school.
Okay.
Trying to get the word out. Anyway, she was their caretaker when they were young, and now things as well. She's had some guest speakers and everything,
Mhm.
and doing a breast and it's called women. It's called empowering women as well,
Okay.
and get some
Right.
things out.
Exactly.
I don't know if I think she already has an itinerary for
Hmm.
next month, which is focused on breast. But then she has something else coming up too, and I always reshare. But I'm gonna send you a message,
Yeah, definitely.
and it will allow you to come in at least because she had vendors there the
Okay.
last time. She had vendors there. So if she had a vendor there, and whenever you're ready to order your books or whatever, and do book signing, she'll let you come up and talk about your book a little bit and what it's about, and see if anybody wants to purchase it. That's what we do. We supposed
Okay, sounds good.
to do look out for the.
Yep.
We supposed to look out for the kingdom, right?
Exactly.
See if she's gonna have vendors. I don't by then. We'll talk off. Let's see what God is going to do
Hmm.
in that avenue because she has two events coming up this year.
Okay.
And it's on York Road, and it's all about women. The last one I went to was phenomenal. It was one she's had plenty, and we ate, and then we prayed, and then we talked. We had speakers. It was just good, and then she had vendors
Okay.
there. So yeah, let's get that out here. That's allow God to bless people. Allow God, our provider, but allow people to bless you for your work,
Yes.
and that God what He's going to do.
Yes.
So without further ado, if you have any last words, you can go ahead and say that, and then we'll. I'm so happy for you coming on here tonight. Now, I do apologize for the audio technical last time, but we're here tonight. We are doing. It says lost connection, but I think it came back. This technology stuff is a
Mhm.
mess sometimes,
I know it's a
but
nuisance.
I'm so happy. Yes, I'm so happy that you came on. I'm so happy a little bit about your women's group. Somebody will
Yeah.
be a blessing to you, blessing to you. So I'm gonna let you do that, and I'm gonna let you do it in a few minutes because I think this thing is trying to disconnect. And the devil is a liar. But go ahead.
Absolutely. You always want to try to get in there.
Exactly.
Right.
You can go ahead.
Okay. So, so yes, get out and buy the book. You will not be disappointed. Believe me. I have really poured my heart into this book, and I just did what God told me to do. You will not be disappointed. Believe me, you will not. It's a quick read, so it's nothing long. The chapters are not long and drawn out or anything like that. I get in the subject and get out and move on to the next one. So but it's good meat inside those chapters. And be on the lookout for because I'm sure Wanda's going to share the other stuff that I have with the women's group as well, because I have some things coming up. And because God has just been dropping things on me, and that those things about to come up. Everything is just coming full circle right now, all at once. And just be on the lookout. This will not be the last time you will hear my name or see my name, because I'm doing things. God is really moving, and just get out, buy the book, support, and I appreciate everybody.
Thank you so much, kid. You guys, Christmas is coming around. Buy that book and buy a couple of them for the family, okay? You guys, I'm gonna
Yes,
get mine
yes,
today. I'm gonna pre-order mine today. So you guys, you
yes.
get that pre-order in for $14 opposed to 25. You can do 25. God can bless you with that. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. You guys, we thank you. I'm Lady G from Transforming Lives. Contact me if you want to be a guest. Transforming a Life.